All right, so welcome everyone. I'm glad to see everybody come back. Getting ready for Valentine's here. I want to first say thanks to the Ruth Keeler Memorial Library for hosting and sponsoring this. If anyone is interested, we are recording this, so if you want to watch it again, or maybe your children later, or someone that you might know want to check it out, just go to the Ruth Keeler Memorial website and check out in the right-hand corner, there's the Facebook and the YouTube channels, and it has all the other classes as well. Also, please consider that these are all free classes that the library is offering to all of our patrons and community. They would like to see if anyone would sponsor and maybe try to consider donating this year for the annual appeal. We'd really appreciate that. We want to keep all these programs going, especially right now during the pandemic when it's so needed, and that everybody can tune in, especially while the library is still closed. I want you to know this library is still doing things. So all that being said, if you need any more information, just go to the Ruth Keeler Memorial Library, and you can actually make an annual appeal right there from the website, okay? Let's get started. So today we're going to make several different things kind of in stages. First, we're going to start off with these beautiful little chocolate bowls. Now, this is just a plain one here, and you can see just the right size. This one has some sprinkles on the outside, and I put on the list if you have like chopped nuts, or if you have sprinkles or glitter sprinkles or sugar, anything like that, you can use it, or you can just make them plain. I'm just kind of using what I have at home. We also have here the little Tuxedo strawberries. You can see them like that, real cute. And then we have just different kind of strawberries that we've covered with different kind of sprinkles that we had here at home. Got some chocolate covered ones here with sprinkles. These are the Valentine sprinkles. This is probably one of the things I splurged on. I like them. They're so cute. And then this is some, like, it looks like glitter, but it's actually just powder, like sugar with coating. And there's a silver one. We also baked off some brownies because we were, had a hankering for brownies. And I baked them into these little bitty heart-shaped ones. But if you have cookie cutters, you can do it as well. And then we used some of the chocolate on the outside and did different designs on these. But I'll show you some different things we can do with that. We also are going to make some little like toppers or labels for your cupcakes. And we made one that said love and hugs. And I made just a handmade stencil for these and just some little chocolates. Same thing with sprinkles. We're not going to make the cupcakes because we've done that before, but I just put a couple here, giant ones that we had made. And we just put the icing and put some toppers on that and show how you can make your own customized little toppers. This one says hugs and love, but you can do whichever one you want. And I'll show you how to do it again with chocolate, okay? So we're going to make some space here so we have some room to work. Take this away. Clear everything off. First, I want to just say, dealing with chocolate, as you know, in my previous episodes, we've had some challenges. It's really hard, especially during the winter, because the room can kind of get air cold. So we're going to work in stages, keep our microwave going, working. You may have melted your chocolate in different ways. I want to make a quick suggestion. I previously had bought some chocolates from Michael's. It was called Sweet Tooth Fairy. It was a total fail. I think it was during the Christmas episode. I really, really love Wilton, and it makes melting candies. This is the light cocoa. I also bought a red, and then this is the white. I just had extra. Just so you know, if you go to Michael's, more than anything, they no longer sell Wilton's chocolate. They sell Wilton products, but they do not sell Wilton chocolate anymore. So if you're looking for it after this and you want to do it on Saturday or Sunday when you have more time, check out Joann's Fabric, had tons of it, and Walmart was a little low, but Walmart also sells it. So don't waste your time with Michael's. Joann has coupons as well. So just letting you know, the Wilton's one, I don't think I've ever had a problem, but maybe today will be it. But I usually use Wilton's. The Sweet Tooth Fairy one was just a total fail. All right, that being said, the first thing we're going to do is our balloon chocolate. Chocolate melts at anywhere from 86 to 90 degrees. That's why if you put chocolate in your hand, it will melt eventually because our temperature is 98.6 degrees. So you need it to kind of stay in that range to stay fluid, okay? So I have an assistant helping me with the microwave to do it in bowls. You can do it in a double boiler, but you got to be careful because the double boiler will emit steam. And if just a drop or two falls into your chocolate, it will seize up. And then you're going to be like, why isn't it stay fluid? So that's the trouble with using a double boiler, but it will work. But if you do it, it needs to be very sealed, like the bowl or whatever needs to be right on top of it, where there's not a bunch of steam flowing off of it. Let me show you what I purchased. I purchased this thing called Choco Maker, and it has no water in it. Let's take a look in here, Leah. There's no water in it. This comes right out of it. It has a melt button, and then it has a warm button. I have had this on warm probably for like 3 hours, and it is still fluid. There's no problem. I can leave it in there for hours. So if you do a lot of like fondues, or you want to do a lot of melting for parties or just molds, it is worth getting one of these things. I actually bought this secondhand. I think I bought it for like $9 or $10. It also has a pour, and you can pour into things, which I really love. So this was a really good investment. I purchased that. So, okay. So now we're going to look at our balloons. I'm going to show you the difference between these balloons. You have a balloon that has a little bit of a kind of a ball at the very end. I find that these work better. But do you see how small this balloon is? You don't want a giant balloon. You want something small that's going to make a balloon about this size. Because remember, we're doing a small bowl, okay? Sometimes in these packages, it's a mix, and then they have these long ones like this. Not going to work. So I want to be very clear. You want to look at one that has and I think I got these at Stop and Shop. It came with like 100 of them, so I've had like tons. Now they're all mixed in there from previous. That's the kind of balloon you want in the size. So once you blow it up, this size is good. You don't want to make it too big. You want to make a bowl, okay? So I have 2 here. You don't need to spray them with oil or nothing. You want to make sure they're dry. If it touches water, no good. Water and chocolate, as you know, do not mix. So I'm going to have 2. I'm going to bring this over here next to my chocolate maker, chocolate melter. And I'm going to take 2 of them. All right. One we'll do plain, and the other we're going to do with a little bit of sprinkles. Let me get my sprinkles ready. If you want to use crushed Oreos, if you want to use, your glitter, sugar, whatever you like, it's up to you. Okay. So we take our balloon. It's nice and dry. And we're going to come right over here to the chocolate maker. Get it close. And you want to make sure that with the bowls, let me show you the example real quick. With the bowls, it doesn't have to be a circle around. You want to make it look like it has almost like a flower-like petal look on it. And this way you're able to dip it in certain directions. I'm going to take all the mush chocolate off as possible. So I'm going to show you how this one is. You see how it almost looks like it has a petal? It's because the balloon was in there and I dipped it different ways like that. You see? So that's our sample. And we'll leave it right here for now. All right, just to make sure. So you're going to take it in, and you're going to go in, and you're going to dip it in, and then you're going to angle it. Always like that. You're going to lift it up, try to get as much off as possible. All right. And then I kind of do this to it a couple of times and transfer it over to the plate. Set it up kind of nice and even, and don't move it, okay? And we're going to have a little bit of mess. We're going to clean up. Turn this around. So we're in a little room for the other balloon. This one I'm going to put some sprinkles, so it's going to get a little messy. We'll clean up as we go. Same thing. Have your sprinkles ready next to you. I'm going to go in. And you can put the sprinkles in a bowl if you want it and dip it, but I find that it ruins a lot of the sprinkles, and I want to save the sprinkles because I don't like to waste. So we're going to go in there real nice and good. I'm going to get this with this hand because I sprinkle with this hand. I'm going to put a little bit of a flatter over here. Ramekin. Up there. It's okay. It's going to spill. And then I'm going to sprinkle over here because I don't like to waste sprinkles. And I turn it around. Couldn't do any much. Now, if you have a bowl of nuts and you don't mind getting a little chocolate in there, knock yourself out. Put it in there. Now we're going to transfer it over and press down. Just like that. Okay. If we were in a big hurry, I'd put this in the refrigerator, but we got time because we're going to do other things. We're going to let that set up. Okay. Just like that. On my list of equipment that you needed, I had mentioned getting a needle, but I found that a better way is we're going to need scissors. So if you don't have any scissors, grab some scissors because we're going to need those later when we take those off there. Okay. All right. So let's clean this up. Some room for other things. Next, we're going to be doing our strawberry tuxedos. So like I mentioned in the list, your strawberries should have been rinsed, air dried, patted dry, no water. And you want to make sure, if you could, next time when you make them, Probably try to keep them room temperature, okay? If they're too cold, sometimes the chocolate will kind of wrinkle up. But if it does, it's no problem. Eventually, as it comes to room temperature, it'll kind of smooth out, okay? So let me make some space here. Let me get my examples. Sample tuxedo strawberries. Let me see. And it's going to be hard. I'm going to try to turn this way to the side so that you can see them. You want to make sure the stems are up, but not so much that it falls off, because you kind of need this to be able to guide yourself into the pot of chocolate, okay? So if you're using a bowl, you want to make sure your bowl is wide enough to get in there, you know. So here's one of my examples, okay? So we're going to first dip white. Bring all the whites out, put them on the parchment paper so that it removes off the parchment paper. And then as it sets, we're going to go back and re-dip on the sides and make the little like lapel or the vest here for them. And then third, we're going to pour some chocolate into a piping bag with a tiny, tiny hole to make the little buttons and the bow tie here, okay? So first we're going to do the white chocolate. And I got my white chocolate here, nice and warm. And then the Wilton one, I didn't even need to add any oil or anything. So that's what I like about the Wilton one. You don't have to mess around with it. It was warmed in the microwave. And I use glass so it stays insulated and warm, okay? All right. So first, you're going to dip it in there, but you're not going to go all the way to the top. You're going to leave a little room for the black bow tie on the top of the chocolate bow tie on the top, right? You want to use larger strawberries so that they have room to do all that. It may be hard. You may have to buy 2 boxes. You know, especially at Valentine's, it's not, you know, typical season, so it's kind of hard. This is like a smaller version. You see how there's a smaller one? We're going to be using this one for a different type of dipping strawberries. All right, so first we're going to go in. Now you see how I dropped a little bit of stuff, there's seeds. So if you do anything like this, do it away from the strawberry, you know, the chocolate, okay? First I'm going to go in. My aim is to go at least right here on the strawberry, okay? So I'm going to dip this way first. A little more. Out. And then have to do all the way to the back because you really don't need it. Do this, up, and then drop it and pull it forward a little bit to avoid getting the lip that I got on this one earlier. I wanted to show you how that happens sometimes. So nice and smooth there. I check out my strawberry before I dip it to see what side is going to sit well. You don't want to do like this because you're going to lay it, it's going to flip over. So find a nice side that you know you want to go with, okay? So we're going to go with this side here. Let's do it again. Check it out. It's going to go in. And you visualize how far you want to go first. So you know that. Drain it. And then come forward like that. Okay. Let's do another one. Okay. Shake it up a little bit. Forward. And then you push forward when you land it. Push it forward a little bit to avoid that little lip. Okay. So that is our white. We're going to keep that warm for some other stuff. And we're going to let that set for just a little bit because we don't want to try to re-dip it into the chocolate because in the white will go in there and then we're going to have a marbleize. So we're going to let that sit for just a little bit and come back to that. All right. So we got our 3 there. Now, while we're, need that one for my mess. Okay. Now, while we're waiting for that, we're going to just use our smaller strawberries that came in our box and not waste a lot of strawberries. And we're going to do different types of, like with this different textures we're going to do here with this sprinkles. If you have nuts, if you have crushed Oreos, you can do different things. If you have granola, I mean, there's a lot of different options you can do. So for starters, I'm going to do 1, which is our regular. Again, I'm pulling all this away as much as possible. And we're going to do 1 with this chocolate. Now my chocolate, you see some little white pieces in here. I put my sprinkles in the fridge. And some of the milk chocolate came out of it, the milk solids, and so it looks a little white, but it's all okay, trust me. All right, so first this is gonna be my messy tray because I'm gonna do all the sprinkling and stuff in here, and then I'm gonna transfer it over here, okay? So mess here, over here. All right, so first we're gonna chop it up a little bit, go in, kind of move it around, come up, Let it drip a little bit. And because it's kind of cold, you don't want to wait too long to put the sprinkles. You come over here and you can either just roll it in there. I find it kind of hard sometimes, so I sprinkle the top of it like this. You may want to use a bigger bowl than this, but I didn't want to waste too many sprinkles. Okay, you see how the chocolate goes in there and then it becomes kind of useless. So this is why I kind of like sprinkling, but I wanted to show you what can happen. All right, so we have some of that and put that right there. This way you want to make a variety of different ones for your family, your sweethearts. Okay, that's the chocolate sprinkle one. Let's do another one of this. This time we're going to do some rainbow. All right. This around one more time going in there. This is why I said leave your stems on, because it helps you. If not, you have to use one of these things. It's like a candy holder or a thing to be lifting it up. So do that. Hold it over here. And this time I'll do the sprinkling. Around. Okay, put that right there. Again, push forward so you don't have too much of a lip there. That one. And we'll do one more with the regular chocolate, and then we'll go to white chocolate in a minute. Okay, we're gonna do one with silver. I'm gonna do a green one for St. Patty's, but I couldn't find my green. I know I had it for Christmas, so I always keep it around to find it. All right, gonna go dipping in there. Put it around a little bit, lift up. You don't want to have too thick of a shell, okay?
Someone said it looks amazing and they made it for the 4th of July with white chocolate and blue sprinkles.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. Sprinkles here. Turn around. All right, that's our silver one. Remember, push forward a little bit so you don't have a lip on it. The silver one. Now we're going to do some of the white chocolate, okay? You wipe all this off, keep it clean here. All right. Okay, we're going to do some with white chocolate. Use our same little mess tray. So you do one. And this one we're going to do with some pink. Let's see. Here we go. First one here. Same thing. Yeah, lift it. Up to my top. Thank you. Now this is kind of like a pink red, but you might be able to find a little bit more red. Lift there. And then I bought these. I love these. These are the Valentine sprinkles. That's the pink, white, and the red on it. We'll to mix those as well. I'm gonna use this one. Okay. Back in there. Remember, when you're picking up your stem, don't do it over your chocolate because all that stuff falls in there and then your chocolate's not so pretty. Okay. Transfer over right there. And then our last one, I'm actually going to put with white chocolate, and I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of the milk chocolate over it with a spoon. Yeah. Oh, you have that for red? I'll actually, let me have that a red one. I have the red, dipping this in. And I actually was lucky to find one bag of the red chocolate from Wilton with Valentine's is really hard. So I'm going to switch this over, and right over here, you can use a piping bag, but I'm only going to do one, so I'd rather not waste. And then you can just make sure your chocolate is in this. See how this is just falling off of here? I'm going to do it right over here, and I'm just going to do a little, that's it. Just a little squiggle over there, like that. Okay. All right, we're going to let those set up, and let's check our tuxedos and see how they're doing. Not ready? Okay. Let's do our balloons. All right, here we go. we have our balloons, and you see, you know when they're ready because you can pick it up. Okay. Again, some instructions will tell you to use a needle. I found in the past that the needle, if you do the needle, it'll pop, but sometimes the air comes out at such a slow pace that it doesn't release itself enough from the chocolate. So you need something kind of a high pressure release. Therefore, using the scissors at the very top, you'll see it'll just decompress and you just pull the balloon right out of it. So here we go with the first one. All right, so it all works out. So you want to come at the top. Right now there's still air. You don't need to pull it up out away from it or anything like that. All you're going to do is just do things. Two things. Just pull up a little bit. It pops. You go in here. Show me that. I'll show the inside. See that? And then you just remove it. Just like that. I could put a little bit more chocolate on the inside, but you're going to be okay. All right. Trash can. Now, same thing with this one. It compressed. It was a little bit slower, but it was enough to just pull away from the sides. See? Nothing on the inside there, okay? All right. I'm going to transfer that over here. A little piece right there. Now, you say, what can I do with this bowl, Mrs. Rizzo? Oh, well, you can put ice cream in here. You can put cut fruit if somebody's, watching their calories. You can put yogurt, frozen yogurt. You can put granola. So there's a lot of little things you can do in here. You can just put you can put the real pretty strawberries in here as well, depending on how big you make this. But you see, it's like a complete little bowl. It sits right where you want to. So depending on how you want to decorate the outside, this one I could have gone a little bit deeper and instead a little more chocolate here. There's a little hole, but for you putting it on a plate like this, there's nothing wrong with that. You can put, ice cream. If you want to, you can just put like a Hershey Kiss at the bottom or something like that. You can even put M&Ms in here. So however you like to do that, or, to serve, you have a lot of possibilities to do that. It's so easy to make look so fancy if you're having at one time or another one day when we have dinner parties again. You can do this for your dinner parties. You make these ahead of time, keep them cool, and then right before, you just put your dessert in here. Mousse, it works really well too. All right, with a couple of strawberries. So those are some options to make it look really fancy, okay? So we're done with our balloon. How easy that was. And it's fun, simple. Children really love making these in my class all the time, okay? So let me get some of my sprinkles up here, my mess tray. Next, I believe we're going to do the next part of the tuxedo, which is the coat of the vest, the lapel, okay? So let's see my strawberries. I have a switcheroo here. And we're going to trade these off. Give me just 1 second. All right. So we have our strawberries here. We've already dipped. All right. So next, let me move this around. We are going to dip to the side. Now this gets a little tricky, okay? Because you only want to get like a V. So I'm going to do my fingers like this. So how you do that is do the sides like that. You want to leave room for the buttons. Show you one more time. You want to leave room for the buttons. So you're just doing it at an angle, okay? You don't want to come up too far. So everyone doesn't have to be perfect that you do. So if you lose your stem, you can hold it from here. Sometimes it's a little easier to hold from there for the first one. So let's go right in here. We're going to kind of put the center down first, and then I put it to the side there. And then I transfer my hand over here. And grab it from the stem or from the side again. So your hands might get a little messy. It's okay. That, drip it. Drag it this way. And then come forward with it because you want to try to avoid getting a lip. Okay. I wipe my hand again. It's a little messy, but they're so worth it. They're so cute, especially when you have them all lined up in a tray or something. Okay, let's try this again. I don't mind holding it by the stem, but sometimes the whole strawberry falls in there and you don't want the whole strawberry to fall in there. Okay, so sometimes it is better doing it with your hand. Okay, so I'm going to do it this way. So you want to make sure if you're melting your chocolate at home that your bowl is big enough that you kind of get your hand in there. Okay, that I go this way and then I'm going to go forward. Try to avoid that lip as much as possible. And I'm going to put it right here and push forward a little bit like that. All right. Wipe. And we get our last one here. Doing good. All right, same thing, pull our stems up. Side. Go back and then go forward. And push forward a little bit, okay? Extra one. All right, so I'm gonna hand it away. Okay, so now while we have that, we're gonna work on the little tuxedo buttons and the bow tie. I have put a little chocolate in here, which I got rewarmed up again. I don't use a metal tip or anything because if I need to rewarm it, I want to make sure I'm able to put this in the microwave a little bit, okay? You put a metal tip, it makes it very difficult to keep it really warm, especially right now in the winter. So I've put a little bit of chocolate in here. You don't need a lot. I made a small hole here. This hole may be too big, but we're gonna try it. If not, I gotta do it, put it into another piping bag, okay? Let's see how big this comes out. I'm gonna do a small, because I was also using this for making my love and my hugs. Let's take a look. Let's see how much comes out. Oh, I might be able to work with that. All right, so we're gonna do our buttons. I'm gonna try to turn it this way so you see it. Like that. Gotta twist this a little bit, it's kind of hard. And let's do our buttons. So depending on how many you want, there's one. Attach it and then just lift and it'll go back down. I make one there and then I make my triangle. There's that one. This one. And if it starts to feel stiff, then oops, if it starts to feel stiff, you go ahead and microwave it again, okay? So do one, two, depending. Oh, no, my head's getting kind of big. So now depending on how big your strawberry is, you might decide on how many buttons you want. Okay, so okay, I'll fail on that one. Just leave it like that. Okay, let me move my chocolate around. Check my tip. Let's see here. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, lost that one. Okay. You want to make sure your hole is not too big. This one could be a touch smaller, but I'm going to use it also to make my writing, so I do need it a little bit bigger. If I was going to do like 20 of these or something, I want a much tinier one. Okay, so we have those. Put those to the side to let them set. And we're going to work on this. I made a stencil kind of just out of my own writing, and I put like love and hugs. This one's a bit big, but my cupcakes are the more larger size. So if you were to write it, make it in proportion to your cupcake size, okay? So if I'd make this about half the size if it was going to be on a smaller cupcake. But I use one of those jumbo mixes, so you'll do it, okay? So I'm putting it underneath parchment paper so that it releases. Checking my chocolate here, make sure it's still nice and melted. Yes, and I may need some more here, I think. I gotta do these two things. So I'm gonna pour a little bit in here, just a touch. Right over here. Just a little bit like that. That's why I like it. You can just pour right in there, push it down, the little twist, test it. So you're gonna just pull it like that, keep it warm. There it goes. All right, so you need this hole to be thick enough to where, do it upside down, where your writing is not too thin because then it'll break off, okay? So let's start off with this one. It's gonna be for our cupcake toppers. And you let it kind of fall. That's the best way I can describe it. If you think it's too thin, then you're writing, then you can always come back and double it up. But you gotta do it right away so it blends together. Okay, I'm gonna go backwards just to make sure it's thick enough. All right, so there we go. There's that. All right, let's do the other one. The other one says hugs. And when it's your own writing, it's kind of easier because you're able just to kind of follow the general, basically how you write. When it's somebody else's, you kind of really follow. All right, I think I got this one thicker. So that one's good. All right. Okay, so we're gonna let that set up. That's gonna be our topper for our cupcakes. And let's see where we're at. We've now got these set up. A nice, pretty, yeah, everything did really good on that. We're gonna transfer these over to a nice, pretty plate. Let's get those on a plate. So if you have a nice holiday platter, whether it's Valentine's or Christmas. There. Okay. Those are pretty like that. We'll make another plate and transfer those over. Okay, so we had fun last night, right before we lost electricity. And we made some brownies too, along with our cupcakes. And so I have made these brownies out of a pre-shaped tin, you could say. And I use this brand called my Reynolds. They're called Fun Shapes. Bought this about a year ago, so I don't know. I think they still make them, but I like to use the hearts for Valentine's, and they also make stars. And the stars I like to use for 4th of July or Memorial Day. They're really fun, but they come in these little tins. They're very thin. They're supposed to be disposable, but I can tell you they're very durable as far as like being able to, I spray them with a little oil, make sure it gets all around the sides. Then I put them on a tray and pour halfway with your brownie, your batter in there. And then you put them on the tray and cook them like that. They take about 20 minutes as opposed to like 30 for a regular brownie, which I like. And then I put them in the sink after I pop them out after about 10 minutes when they cool. And then I put them in a sink in a tray and put like just a little bit of liquid detergent, water, and with the sprayer, all the stuff comes out of it. And then I drip them and I put them in the oven back on the tray and let the water come out of them, and I'm able to reuse them. So that's a quick tip that you can do on those. They make stars, but it's the Reynolds brand, the Fun Shapes, okay? If you don't have them or you can't find them, make a tray of brownies, use your cookie cutter. This is a little bit bigger than what I have, but it's the same thing. They have all sizes. You can see it's a little bit bigger, but you're able to cut these out of your brownie mix, out of your tray, your pan, and then you can find that you can use the same thing like I'm doing right here. Just giving you some alternatives of what to do with that, okay? So we have different ones here. The ones we did before, we did different ways. What I can say is that you're your own artist. You can decide the way you want to do it. Children like to do them all different kind of ways. I like to just go across and kind of like a splatter. I think it's fun. So with the white, I did this one. You can, while it's wet, you can add different sprinkles or anything to it. So I'll first do this one here with a white one, and I'll add some different sprinkles like that. So I took a white chocolate and use this regular background for that. And I put it here. And this used to be really fun for us to do when my daughter was in elementary school. We could give these away for Valentine's, but things have changed, obviously. So you don't have to put it in a binding bag. You can if you want to, but I find that this way, as soon as I get it out of the microwave, as long as I can drizzle it, it's much easier for children to do this. Just make sure you do it high enough to where the drizzle is semi-thin, just like this. And then we're going to come back and go across with the red in a little bit. Okay, let that sit for a little bit, unless we got it ready to go. So there's that one. We have the red, and you can do some red with it. So I got it. I'm going to use it. Just high and go across. This makes it pretty. Okay, real simple. Children can do that. All right, so that's one. The other one we did is that we actually took it and we dipped it into the chocolate like this and covered it almost like a ding dong, if you remember that growing up. And I'm going to do that, but I'm going to sprinkle it with some real pretty sprinkles, okay? So let's try that one. That's why I love this chocolate maker. Maybe a little bit more on this side. Let it drip down to the bottom. And then I have this nice little baby spatula to kind of round it off there. Okay, so I'm going to put it right here. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to just try something different, and maybe it'll work. Here with me. I'm just going to see if it works. Drop there. Drop here. I might need a little more. Feeling adventurous to do a marble. There. And then I have some toothpicks over here. I'm going to swirl it around, okay? Like that. And then we're going to marble it. All right. Let's see. I might need a little bit more white. We'll see. You can marble a little more. Again, you can, however you feel being creative, you can do that, okay? Any questions so far, honey? All right, good. We got a marble, and then we got two more here. Another one we'll do with sprinkles. I'm going to dip this one as well, and I'm going to put some of the Valentine sprinkles on it. All right, it's fun. I'm thinking about what I'm going to want to eat later. Yeah, let it fall down to the bottom of the tip of this. Kind of smooth it out like that, just like that. Here, let's put some of these on here. That's pretty. Yeah. And then we have one more. Let's see here. What do I have that I can put on here? Should I do some more? What do I have? Red. Why do we have the white again? Let's do a white dip. My husband's been crazy. Let's do a white one. So we got white chocolate to use. That'll be fun. Just like a normal one. Daughter's laughing at me. Okay. Hopefully we don't get too much chocolate in there, but we'll see. We're toward the end anyways. Turn. A little more on this one. There it goes. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Let's see. What should we do? More of these? These are so pretty. I like these. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me have the red one. Let me some stripes and then put the sprinkles on there. Now it's not ready. Okay, we're gonna do this. All right, let's just put these for those people who like that. I know my daughter will eat this, so I'm gonna do it this way. All right. So then we have different ones. Now, the fun part of this is that you can make these into kind of like pops. So I didn't have any red ribbon with me right away, but I found this real cute pink and green one. But let me have one of our old ones that's already, not old, but one of the ones that's already set up. So you can take these, and you can kind of customize them. These are like little lollipop, as far as like lollipop, I guess you can say if you want to make candies or whatever, and I have different sizes. I have long ones and short ones. You want to put this in here, and if you want it to stay, you can put some hot glue. About going into the, as far as into this, you want to do at the bottom over here, and you go in. You don't want it to come out to the top, but you want it to be stable, and then you can move this. I didn't glue mine, so that's how you can judge your first one. And these are cute, and you can put them in cellophane paper, or you can put the bow on the outside of the cellophane paper. But if you're just going to put it on a platter, you can just leave it like this and lay them out on the plate like that. And they look so cute. See how that is? Maybe for a bake sale or something like that. So depending what the holiday is, you can do that. And I made a couple of them. They're cute. Oh, they look nice. Baby shower or something. All right. So you can do different things with that. So these are still setting up. Now we're going to work on our loves and hugs. All right. So these, you got to be gentle with them because I made them as thick as I could at the time. Let's see what happens. So again, this is just my stencil. And this is what I went off of. But you can make your stencil on however you want. Looks like they're coming off pretty easy, going really gentle. See there? Don't leave them in your hands too long, because again, chocolate melts right away. And these are my giant cupcakes. That's why I made big, things in them. You want to make sure when you put them in there, your icing is somewhat room temperature so that you won't break it going in there. Okay? This is the one that says hugs. Again, I grab it from the paper and kind of pull away from it. And you could do an artistic design. You could just do a bunch of scribble in here and make it look real artsy as well. This one says hugs. Trying to make sure I'm putting it here. One says hugs. Okay, like that. I can put some sprinkles if I want here. Make them a little bit more Valentine's-y. So I love to be extra, right? The two of them. Yes, she does. Again. It helps when you put these on there when your icing is just put on. So I'm just improvising here. All right. So we have that to go. All right. And you can make different things. You can put hearts. You can do everything free-handed on parchment paper and then later on put them all around there like my other ones. Okay. You can say I love you, however you want them there. All right. So we have different things here. So you can do a lot of things with chocolate. Hopefully, I think that it's fun to work with. Children love working with the chocolate. And I always find that you can put ice cream cones. There's different things you can do with the chocolate. I actually like bacon and chocolate. I like cheese and chocolate, but that's me. I didn't want to make people think I'm crazy, but I really like that. So if anyone has any questions, let me know now. I can answer something. Take a look at what we have here again. We have the brownies. We have the cupcake toppers. These are the other ones we just made. They sit up really fast. See, I just did those and they sit up really fast. So you can make the brownies the night before and then do the decorating that same day with your kids. We have our strawberries. They're dipped in different types of chocolate, also different type of toppings. And we have our tuxedos down here. And they look really, really impressive when you have them in a platter and there's like a lot of them lined up. They look beautiful. And then we have our chocolate bowls made out of a balloon, real easy. It makes it look like it's hard when you see it at a restaurant, but it's real easy to make, okay? So I hope everyone enjoyed that. I hope everyone has a happy Valentine's Day. I want everyone to stay safe. Please stay tuned. In March, we have 3 classes coming up in March. It's part of the culinary literacy program as well with me, Chef Rizzo. It is going to be March 4th, I believe 11th and 17th. They're on Thursday at 4 o'clock. We're going to start this series, 3 parts. What else can I do with the rotisserie chicken? So if you're at home and you're tired of cooking the same thing and you just keep buying a chicken from Costco or BJ's or Stop and Shop or Whole Foods, and you want to know what else you can do with that rotisserie chicken, we are going to be doing several things. We're going to be doing chicken enchiladas. We're going to do a chili. We're going to do a curry chicken salad, enchiladas. I'm going to show you different things to do from the sauces all the way up to the final product. So hopefully that's something that interests you. And if you have any ideas, feel free to let the library know. And we hope to also continue this in April. Thanks for tuning in. And if you have any questions for me personally, shoot me an email at chefrizzo@hotmail.com and I'll be glad to answer it. And again, if you'd like to see this, it's recorded and it's on the Ruth Keeler Memorial Library. Thanks for tuning in and I appreciate everyone watching.